Hey now, everybody. Hey now. Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey now. Welcome back.
Gay now.
To the line.
Is that what you said?
Yes, I'm about to do one of Gene's favorite things. Welcome back to the line on Talk 99.5.
Hey, there we go. Nice. Everybody's happy about that in the building right now.
JD, John Bird, Gene, and your man, the Chubb Father, filling in rather capably, if I may add, for Andrew.
Jury's still out. I mean, we got 3 hours. We got 3 hours to screw this up.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's better.
Andrew is off negotiating foreign beef prices.
Mm-hmm.
He will be back
Duking
tomorrow.
it out with Canada.
Yeah. Oh, Canada.
I thought he was just looking for hot dogs.
It's a secret.
Oh.
It's a secret.
It's in the sauce.
205-545-9950 if you would like to join the conversation. Dolly Parton is up on the screen. And I think about all the remembrances of Dolly Parton that could be done and said, have been done and said. If I'm being honest, like I was never really super crazy about her music or her movies. I appreciated, however, the human being that she was and all the things that she tried to do and did. You know, all the work she did with literacy and all those things.
Yep.
And, you know, because it's a time of sensitive and all the other things, nobody has really brought it up. But, like, she may be as responsible as anyone for confirming the heterosexuality of many a young person.
Well, that's not the conversation I thought we were
Just like Tina Turner's legs. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was a young man, if Tina Turner came on the TV, all the guys in the room were like, man, look at those legs.
You got to remember, Tina Turner hit it when she was like 44.
Yeah.
Before that, no one knew who Tina Turner was, and everybody's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Check out
the pantyhose
legs.
commercials. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
The What's Love Got to Do with It video. So I learned, you know.
You're used to this, aren't you, Jay?
What I believe.
You're unfazed by all of this.
That I should know
talking about.
about legs from Tina Turner. And, you know, the same thing. When Dolly Parton would come on, everybody be like, ooh, boobs. You know? And so you just kind of, that was the standard.
You started this section really strong, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted you to come here. I just wanted you to come and critique me the entire show.
Yeah. Well,
I
didn't know we were
that.
going to be talking about legs and.
Well, you didn't ask, to be fair.
Well, it's true. It's true.
And if we're being honest, you know, we did do a bit of radio together in the past.
Yes, we have.
And this is no different than that.
Yep.
So I'm consistent.
This is true. This is absolutely true.
If nothing else, I'm a guy who makes cheeseburgers for a living. That you know,
what?
Do you?
I've had a problem speaking for the last 2 days, so it makes perfect sense that they asked me to do more radio.
That was very collided with the chains of a cheeseburger.
So I wanted to talk for a minute about some social entitlements and the number specifically the SNAP program and food stamps and these things. And I hear everyone talking about how all of this needs to end. We can't afford it. This is terrible. This is just building dependency. It is a problem that has been created by both parties and continued year after year after year after year after year. So now we're at this place where if you want to stop and you want to change, lots of people's lives are going to be drastically affected instantly. So there has to be an off-ramp. Yeah. And it's been my problem with the system all along as a young person who came through that system. The off-ramp piece to it. I understand and acknowledge that people need help. I believe that it's more of our responsibility to take care of each other than it is the government's job to take care of each other. So we've built this cycle of dependency, which I believe is more about control than anything. But how do we create an off-ramp? Are we perfectly willing to just snatch it from people and tell them to figure it out? Because that doesn't really seem like the most humane thing to do by any stretch of the imagination. with America needing such a labor force at this point, can we not take some of the money, give them extra money, send folks to trade school? Is there not an opportunity to
Get him, JD.
Is there not an opportunity for
Just
the
holding my
people who
tongue.
have been in like single family Section 8 housing? Is there a path that those people could become the owners of those homes?
No, you just like you're gonna have to just snatch it away,
Yeah.
right? Because Americans, especially Americans, only and humans in general only understand pain, right? Well, you're gonna put them in timeout. Timeout doesn't work, right? That's the off ramp, and so the reality is like just like 9/11 and just like Pearl Harbor and all of these things, in order to bring back patriotism and all that, it's been shown over and over again. You have to cause pain because nobody is going to just willingly give it up. And it's unfortunate and it sucks. Don't get me wrong, but there is no off ramp. There's 0% off ramp. It is going to have to be sorry, flip the switch, and then maybe you have a real discussion about it, but you've got these douchebag politicians in charge of this stuff, right? And fraud and all of this sort of stuff. So, like, it has to be handed back to the people. Give me my damn tax dollars back and go pound sand. And I know that sounds super harsh, right? But this isn't going to be this can't be a timeout thing.
Yeah.
But it's across the board. It's not just SNAP benefits and it's not just this. I'm a veteran, right? There's a massive amount of fraud in the VA system.
Yep.
Right? We're going to have to pull those Band-Aids off too. We're going to have to stop subsidizing every single thing because, there was a crying mother in the road one day, right? Because it's completely out of control. Like, so I don't. You look around and there is no other way. Because the reality is a lot of these things were built with off ramps in them.
Yeah.
Right. The ideas behind them was to just help out a little bit and then, get you back on your feet. Back on your feet is the off ramp. The problem is that you're right. It was created as a control thing as well. But I don't think I'm past the idea that we're going to be able to do any of this stuff civilly. In a lot of ways, right? It's 100 years of this craziness, and it's not going to get unwound in another 100 years of off ramps. It needs to be hey bro, 8/31, 2026. I hate it for you. Now there's going to be a problem with there's going to be a lot of issues in the street. Like people are going to be hungry. They're going to be all those things. Yes, but I don't think that the people that are in charge of this stuff have the ability to fix this.
Yeah.
They just don't. And honestly, the people that are voting these clowns, Barry Moore, for instance, back into office, right? The voters they're not gonna fix it either. They're just not. That's my 2 cents. 2.5 cents.
You could telegraph that if you're watching on Talk 995 TV on YouTube. When he leaned back and crossed his arms, you knew what was coming. But I don't necessarily disagree with you. However, if you look at the way government works with these programs, first of all, we have to stop calling it entitlement. First, just get rid of that word.
Yeah,
that word needs to go. It needs to be temporary. Temporary benefit even is bad. I don't like the word benefit, but temporary assistance, perhaps. With Social Security, they keep raising the age that quote unquote, air fingers quotes, benefit is paid out. They keep, they raise the age. Well, they can do the same with the threshold of benefits for SNAP. They can keep raising the threshold so fewer and fewer people then qualify, again, air fingers quotes, for that air finger quote benefit. I hate that. You guys can't see me. You can see them, but
it ain't going to happen.
I know it. That might be the off ramp is you got to wean them off the pipe. I mean, that's the truth. You got to wean them off the nipple, as they say.
I agree. I agree with both of you, and I know that's probably completely contradictory, but I feel both things. But there's I think we have to do some weaning off the pipe.
You and I both. I don't know about you, JD, but you and I remember the Liberty Bell $5, food stamp thing.
Right.
I mean, I grew up on it as well.
Yeah.
There was one day where my father, because I was a single father, I was an only child. He was living. That was the only way for him to feed me. Okay, the program worked, and then one day it was there, and the next day it wasn't. Why? Because my dad hit a threshold where he no longer, air fingers quote, qualified for that. And he just did it. He just made it work. Right. It's like that's what humans do. So I don't know that we can just stop it on April 15th, 2030, and without chaos in the streets.
I think you're going to have to. That's my point.
You could lower the percentage of people. And again, if it comes down to starving children or people going back to work, we don't want starving children. We want people going back to work. Absolutely. Let's just make that very clear.
Absolutely.
So we have to incentivize them going back to work. One of the problems with these programs is they're now generational. You brought that up.
Yeah,
and that there's a whole mentality. There's a shift in people's way of thinking that needs to change.
No, Carter just called and said, "Give me a break." So we'll do that. And when we come back, there'll be more of this because I'm a professional. And this is a radio show. Talk 99.5, The Line. Welcome back to the line. Yeah, hanging out on a hump day.
That was my request.
JD, Gene, JB, Will C, and Daniel. 205-545-9950. Join the program. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, Will?
I can't call it, man. What's happening?
So I was wanting to kind of weigh in on the SNAP benefits and everything else.
We're here for it.
I'm on team yank it. And here's why. There's several reasons why. You have entire industries that are built based on the SNAP program itself. The gas stations and whatnot that are within walking distance to areas that are heavily laden with SNAP. The people walk in there, they ring everything up as groceries, so the items aren't actually trackable. They're not itemized on their bill. It literally says grocery. Those gas stations can charge whatever they want. I've actually talked to gas station owners that have verified and said that. The women in those areas, I'm sorry, having children, that is not a job, and you should not get paid. And having one with one man and going and having a second so that you can get more benefits instead of having a second child with the first man you were with, that's how the game is played. All that being said, COVID itself to me was the litmus test as to how the vast majority of Americans will always choose the easy wrong over the hard right.
Yep. Yeah.
You had people that essentially quit their jobs, sat at home, refused to pay their bills, and acted like it was perfectly okay. They had the money to be able to do it, refused to pay their rents and everything else, and looked for the government for handouts. That is not what this system is. That's not what I get up and work for every day, or any of you all get up and work for every day. There needs to be some type of system in place for those that are truly disabled, cannot work, can't feed themselves, and things of that nature. That I do think, as an American, we have a responsibility to those people. They are our fellow Americans. How to do it, I don't know. As far as the off-ramp, you set a firm date. 365 days from today, the clock is ticking. This is when it will end. And going forward, everything changes. And from this point forward, we will be evaluating everyone on this that can have this type of disability program benefits or whatever they're going to call it. And those will be the ones. The rest of them, it's time to man up and fend for yourselves. And that's my feelings about it. And I think it's right. You're not going to get them to do the right thing unless you force them to.
Yeah. I can't argue with that, Daniel.
Yeah.
Very well said, man. Thank you for calling in. Thanks for calling and joining us, brother. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Daniel. You know, we said during the break, this is going to end itself eventually.
Yeah.
Whether we set the hard date, we set an off-ramp, or a meteor strike, it's gonna end eventually. And I like what Daniel said there. He goes, it's time for you to man up. And we've all struggled. I mean, literally every human struggles.
Sure.
It's how you deal with that
Yeah,
struggle.
but my struggles are harder than yours.
You don't know me. I need a chair to throw.
I live this is my truth.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's 100 years of like changing vocabularies, indoctrination, and all the things, right? So at the end of the day, it's going to happen one way or another.
But look,
right? It's unsustainable.
We're not compassionate people.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Will's big thing is, hey, take care of your brother. Right?
The compassionate thing to do is to kick them off.
That's where I was going. Yeah. Eventually, give them the time. The off-ramp is the year. Hey, guys, it's April 15, 2030. Between now and then, you need to figure it out because it's ending on April 16th.
And I don't disagree with that in assertion. I do believe that we provide opportunity during said year to give people the ability who want it to further educate themselves.
Sure.
Or to learn something new. And I don't mind, give me a box that I can check that says I want my tax dollars to go to this.
I just want my tax dollars back.
And give people the opportunity to learn to build a chair that they can pull up to the table.
Yeah, now you're into a totally different conversation about the system of the United States being a consumer system rather than a generating system. We don't have a society of builders. We have a society of takers.
Sure, and my desire is for us to be a society of builders.
Right, but if they choose not to build,
Well, I
that's on
agree,
them.
but
That's
what
the
I'm,
libertarian.
but
view.
there are not all, and it may not even be half. It may only be 25%. But if you give people an opportunity to have an opportunity, the people who want to take advantage of that opportunity during said period of time,
Mhm.
give those folks a chance. That's all I'm saying, and that's all I'm beating the drum for.
I don't know. I mean, there are billions of dollars in programs already
Sure,
that are not taken advantage of.
sure.
So the proof is already there that unless you make it painful, it's not going to happen.
Well,
Right?
and I'm not suggesting that you don't make it
Yeah.
painful.
I mean,
I'm simply suggesting that you give an opportunity to someone who genuinely wants it to make a better way
okay, but
for themselves.
percentage wise, and I think you were kind of going, I absolutely flat out do not believe that 25% of them don't have opportunity. There is opportunity everywhere.
Yeah.
My windows are dirty. My grass needs cut. My car needs washed.
You're not letting nobody cut your grass. To be
That's
fair.
true. That's true.
It's
no,
an
I'm
ism.
not.
Nobody's
Yeah.
cutting your grass
Yeah.
or chopping your
Yeah.
wood.
Yeah,
That's
that's true.
right.
That's true. I'm going to do those things. But the reality is that there is ample opportunity we talk about it all the time. The hustle.
Absolutely.
Do the hustle. Whatever, right? Like it's just not being taken advantage of. So I don't think any amount of here's HVAC training, here's some AI training, here's, how to cut a piece of wood straight or any of that sort of stuff. Because also all of this stuff is already on YouTube. You can learn anything on YouTube. You don't even need a program. You just need to start doing it. And
I don't disagree with that.
Take those
I don't disagree with that. But you can't go to an employer that requires some sort of certification to run a forklift or to change a light bulb and be like, I learned it on YouTube. Hire me.
Well, I mean, but that's also a government problem.
I would sweep the floors at Chubb Fathers to feed my grandkids.
Absolutely. Back after this.
I wouldn't.
His grandkids are yours.
Anybody's grandkids.
Welcome back, the presidents of the United States of America. Peaches.
Yeah.
Very good album. Very good album. Bill is joining us
From the
all
Middle
the
East.
way from that state up north that being a Buckeye, I can't say. Bill, welcome to the program,
Bill
man. What's
from
happening?
the Middle East.
Hey, thanks, guys, for having me. I just want to say, Will, it's been about 5 years since I've been to Chubb Fathers, but I don't know if you still have the Zydeco.
Yes,
It's
sir.
an awesome burger.
Thank you, man.
Yes.
Makes
I
a
wanted
wicked
to
cheesesteak,
talk
too.
about the public assistance. I think they should really maybe shut the program down for maybe a couple months. It's a privilege. It's not a right. I think if you've been receiving benefits for 6 months, then it's time to find a job. It's something to build from in times of need, not to live on. And it clearly it's being abused.
Yeah, Bill, we have people that three generations of a household have been receiving. I'm right there with you. I don't know about shutting down for 6 months. I think JD's on the shut the tap off completely camp.
Well, and we talked about this at the break, right? Federally, right? Turn it off.
Turn it off.
Right.
Yeah.
If anything, I think that the taxes, like, so let's say I'm going to pay the same amount of taxes, right, that I do now. The lion's share, the 30%, the whatever it ends up being, needs to go to the state that you live in, and the 10% go, like, flip it, right? Because right now, what Alabama's state tax is 5 or 6% or 7, whatever it is, right? Flip it and let the state piss away their money however they see fit, but they don't get $1 from the federal government. Now, the interesting thing is Alabama is an entire welfare state.
Yeah.
We get more money from the federal government than we put in. This entire state is a welfare state. So there are 49 other states that are paying our bills already. That is just the absolute flat truth.
I have family in California, and they're constantly complaining about all of our money goes to the other states, and that's true.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's jobs out there, but I've been in the hard labor workforce, and I swear people don't want to work them. I had a friend ask for find me a job, and I said, well, there's a guy over here. They're looking for somebody to empty out porta potties. No, I don't want that. Hey, you don't get to choose.
That's right.
There's your opportunity.
That's right.
And you didn't take it.
The waste turns into food.
Yep.
I mean, cleaning out a porta potty turns into food on the table the next day. And if you don't look at it like that, JD and I were talking about this earlier. How do you make money? In my mind, I can only again speak for Gene. I've always been the guy that's like, I see little piles of money everywhere I go.
Amen.
And I just try to figure out a way to pick them up. And whether it's sweeping the floor, emptying a porta potty, or starting a business, then that's what I'm going to do. But there are little piles of money everywhere. And once you get the mentality that you got to figure out a way to pick them up, then you obviously get off these programs and you move forward. But they don't want to do the work to pick them up.
Right. All the tools are already out there, and they're free.
Yeah.
They're free.
Bill, we appreciate you, brother. Thanks for hanging
Thank you,
out.
Bill.
Thanks for listening, man.
Love the show.
Thanks, sir. I don't disagree with that assertion. I talk about the low hanging fruit, as being the little piles of money, and it's the easiest stuff to pick. And it's just like JD was just saying that, your windshield, your windows are dirty. Go clean them. You can get a pressure washer for $250. Go clean somebody's sidewalk. It's there, and I don't disagree with the assertion that opportunity is everywhere, and there are little piles of money everywhere. It goes back to the feed. People are constantly told why they can't succeed.
Yeah.
No one gets on the news and says, hey, you can do it.
I ain't clicking on that.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody gets on the social media and says, you can do it. It's all reasons, day after day, minute after minute, of why you can't.
Yeah. I think people don't want to put the work in. It comes down to that.
Well, Gene, it's hard.
Well,
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just hard.
Up, cupcake.
I agree, but I do believe that there are a group of people that have been so beat over the head with reasons they can't be successful.
Yeah.
That, once again, during this year, during this 2 years, this is your last opportunity. Like, we're going to take care of this. I'm going to educate you. There are going to be things that come and spring from this. You will have hope and opportunity in a piece of the pie. And that's why giving people the ability to build a chair, to pull up to the table, nobody deserves a seat at the table. You deserve the ability to build a chair.
I'm not entitled to a seat at the table.
You're not.
There's that word again.
You're not.
I don't want to gloss over the human factor as well. We have to understand the human factor of everybody has a story, and that story's different than Will and Gene and JD and John. And whatever that story is, those either choices or circumstances brought you to where you are at this exact moment. All of that can be overcome in some fashion to some degree, right? If I had lost my legs in the war, to a certain degree, I'm not winning any 100-yard dash races, but I can still be who I'm supposed to be. We've all overcome things in our lives. Everybody's story is different. So, what are the things that brought us to where we are this very second?
We have to stop listening to those stories, though, too, because that's kind of part of the problem. Like, nobody cares what your story is. Like, stop it.
I have
because it's an excuse.
I have a poster in my office that says nobody cares, work harder.
Right.
I literally see it every day.
Yeah, because it becomes an excuse.
It's I want to know the story. I want to know why the homeless guy's homeless, because then we can fix
but that's
it.
On a personal level, right? Like, I do too. I love hearing these stories, right? I'm a big fan. But as a whole, right, like federally, when it comes to the dollars, we have to stop caring what your story is. Like, because because it's performative, right? It becomes I was this and I was nobody cares, right? Like, just go work, please get away from me, go get a job, and then come tell me your story.
Driving here today, there was a guy on the off ramp holding a sign, and one thing crossed my mind is what brought that dude to that spot at that moment.
It's a pretty profitable corner.
I was going to say, at least he's on my windshield, bro.
He's doing something, right? I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, he's doing something there.
But so there it goes back to what we were briefly talked about with the stuff with Meta and accountability,
right?
And isn't that really where we have to go back to? A lot of your decisions
to be addictive, bro. They are designed to be addictive. And when you're an 8-year-old kid, which was what this Meta thing was about, was children being addicted to social media. They are the cigarettes of our age. They are designed to do that.
Except they don't come with warning labels.
Correct. They come with $16 billion settlements, though.
Squirrel and sidebar, I'd love to smoke a cigarette. That'd be awesome.
Well, what were you saying?
Nope.
Accountability.
Is it the parents that allowed their kids to be addicted to this? Is it the parents' fault? I know, man. I was playing baseball, and that baseball went through my neighbor's window. Gene's dad's the one who got busted for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There was accountability in 1978.
Sure.
Where'd that go today?
Yeah, but what was your story for putting that baseball through the window?
We were slaves in Egypt, and know.
Well, then it's not your fault, Gene.
That's right.
It's not your fault. As long as your story's good enough, it's not your fault. It's insane. It's
guy who made the baseball
insanity.
made it wrong. The bat was warped. Whatever.
The aerodynamics were all off.
Right.
I blame 3 stitches.
Yeah.
Whoever built the apartment complex put that building there.
It's like there's 1,000 ways to make it not your fault, and then this is why, again, not caring about your story is just a version of pulling the Band-Aid off. Like,
can you just be nicer about it?
No,
because you're kind of a jerk when you.
I don't care.
Is there any way? Is there any way that we as people find a group of people that we can elect that do those things?
0% of politicians are going to do anything we're talking about right now.
I found one, worked my butt off to get him elected, and then you know what the people did? They didn't even show up to the polls.
Yeah.
Right. Didn't even show up to the polls. They couldn't be bothered for that 5 minutes. Right. To go in and vote.
Yep.
So
that's apathy. Yep.
It's ridiculous.
And it's frustrating.
It's disgusting.
When you work hard on a campaign. Yep.
Gene, we have to take a break.
Yay.
And given the fact that you're a radio professional, why don't you take us there?
Oh,
I love doing that. John is doing his thing, and you're listening to JD. Will, I'm Gene. That's John. We're going to talk about whatever Will wants to here on The Line from Talk 99.5.
Two zero 545 You can text that number as well, and John Bird will receive it and read it. Michael has chose the phone call route. Michael, what's happening? Welcome in.
Oh, how's it going?
It's going, brother.
Pretty
How
good.
are you?
You got a good crew there. Look, give you a couple examples. A guy I know was trying to help out this woman. She had 8 kids. You know, he'd go pay $300 and something to get their power turned back on and stuff. Time goes forward. Now she has 12 kids.
Oh my.
Now,
I think they know what causes that now.
Yeah. We figured that out.
My
a couple $100,000.
sister-in-law, she started Wanda in Sylacauga. Well, she's dead now, but she started an adult education program, and a woman came to her, and she had 10 kids, and she says, the baby factory's running out. I need to find something to do. She went through an adult education program and got some kind of certification. I don't remember what it was. She worked in the hospitals. And she came back and said, I'm better off now than I have ever been in my life. Now,
Absolutely.
DNA, that woman that has 12 kids, if you come in and you're having a illegitimate kid, there's no reason you should have to name a father, and you can't lie about it. I mean, they'll test for DNA, and and it'll cut down on a lot of these pregnant women if these guys are having to pay for play.
Yeah, take responsibility. That's what you're talking about, right, Michael?
Yeah, make them responsible for it.
So you're saying if someone goes in to have a baby, they don't have to name the father? Is that a thing that goes on their birth certificate, or what? This is something I don't know a thing about.
No, I don't think there is.
Huh.
No, well, it couldn't be.
Just put Will
They
Chilowinski
were.
on all of them.
No, do not put my name on anybody else's birth certificate. 3 is all I needed or wanted.
Yeah.
Well, if you didn't do the crime, the DNA will prove you didn't. That's why you can do that now. Back in the old days, it wouldn't work because you could name anybody, and how are you going to prove you didn't?
Yeah. You know, the interesting thing is your example shows that.
Thanks, Michael. We appreciate
Thank you,
brother.
Michael. When the need is there, the priority will shift. Like he said, you know, you can't have any more children. You had to shift that priority to feed all those kids. She goes and gets the job from the, education, and then he goes and gets a job in the hospital and says, my life is better off. So the need, as JD was saying earlier, once that pipeline, if you will, that, I don't know what to say, the income stream is gone.
Right.
And in that case, it was weird. But another income stream is going to present itself. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's an interesting example.
Robbie's in Gordo joining the
Robbie.
program. Robbie, what's happening?
Hey, bro. I see you got several different groups here. You got a group of people who are looking at the government and saying, they're going to give this money to somewhere. They might as well give it to me. I know some people like that. They're like, hey, the government's going to blow this money, waste it, give it away. I might as well get some of it. And then you got some people who's been in the cycle so long that they don't know nothing else. That's all they know is that cycle. And what we got to do is figure out how to get both of those categories off of the cycle.
Agreed. Any suggestions?
No, I ain't got no suggestions. I'm like y'all. I think there needs to be a cutoff.
Yeah.
You need to come up with a hard line cutoff, and that's what it needs to be. But I appreciate y'all guys.
Appreciate you too, Robbie.
I challenge anyone to call in with the name of a politician that would put that forward.
I mean, you know, we're talking. It started with SNAP benefits, right? But
Right.
I mean, the corporate welfare
Sure.
is just as bad, if not worse. Worse, right?
Worse.
So again, this is a systemic problem. And so there are people that are 100 millionaires because of tax dollars,
Right.
right? Just like the people that are living on SNAP benefits or whatever, right? So this is why you just got to break all of it, right? And it will get broken one way or another, right? But it is just across the board systemic. And again, stop giving my tax dollars to the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
Give them to the state, right? Because I can move from state to state if I don't like the way that state is, I
You
can't.
have the opportunity to.
I'm not gonna. I should not have to be an expat to get relief from the absolute buffoonery and nonsense that goes on in D.C. Right? I mean, there is a difference between leaving a state and having to leave like your home country.
Right.
Right. And I'm move.
Yeah.
Move to another state. That is the whole point here.
Well, Gene said it, you said it, that we're not going to find a politician that is going to do anything, much less what we're talking about. So when it does finally break, and when it does finally all go away, the thing that picks up the pieces and attempts to cobble it all back together, do we even have a 50-50 shot at it being back better than it was, or is it just completely gone?
You know what's going to happen. The collapse comes, then they all throw up their hands and go, "Oh no, what happened? We never saw this coming." Yeah, you did.
Right.
Everybody and their brother saw
No,
it
COVID
coming.
showed us that it's just going to be whatever. And at the end of the day, it's always whoever's pointing the gun at you.
Yep.
Right. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Right. And the federal government, the state governments, they all have a monopoly on force. Right. So whoever is pointing the gun at you. Now, the thing is when it does break, I think there's going to be a lot of people that obviously break with it and then go, "Rut-row, George," and it'll snap. Because there is an American spirit.
Absolutely.
Right. There
Is that
is.
a pun? It'll snap.
Yeah. There is something about Americans that
Don't touch my stuff.
don't touch my stuff. And
Yeah.
when the going gets tough, right, they get going. And that, again, that's you gotta pull this rug out, take this Band-Aid off, and it's going to make it tough. And a lot of people will figure it out.
Kyle's on the phone. Let's talk about accountability. We are all for that. Kyle, what's happening? Welcome in.
Hey, man. What's up, guys? My brother ended up going to white-collar prison for just like about 5 or 6 years, but he was in there with a bunch of these guys, and my brother admitted, hey, what I did was wrong. I'm here. But it was funny because one of the guys there told him, he said, because you were raised so different than me, he said, you want to know the difference between you and me? And my brother's like, I would love to know. Please tell me. He said, when you were growing up, you were taught, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Yes, sir, no, sir. You were kind. You were respectful. You shared, and you worked hard. He said, the way I was raised was, if you want something, take it. Do whatever you want. And if somebody tries to stop you, cry racism, sexism, whatever, and if somebody disrespects you, they have to die because you will not be disrespected. And it was funny because you kind of see that the way the government is right now, it's facilitating the second one, where it's like, go do whatever you want because I've got you by the throat because I've got you. I'm like a drug dealer. I've got you. You want the money? Hey, I'll give you whatever you want. If I want you to do what I want you to do, I can cut it off, and then you will actually do what I want. That's what I think what's going to happen is if you want to change that, you've got to have more people. It doesn't matter what race you are, what religion you are. You have to have more people say, no, I'm going to take ownership of this. I'm going to do the right thing. It's not about me. It's about I need to do the right thing. Until that changes, doesn't matter what we do legislatively. I don't think it'll matter.
Kyle, good call, brother. We appreciate you, man.
Unless you just turn the spigot off and let it happen.
Well, in religion, right? We've taken God out of everything.
Everything.
Put it back, right?
Yeah. Christians more than anyone have allowed themselves to be run over and run through.
Yeah, they have.
Y'all took that turn the other cheek thing way too literal.
Yeah. They didn't read all the book.
That's
right.
not-
They didn't read
There's
the
other
book.
stuff in there.
It's okay to stand up. Actually, it's what's expected.
Yep.
Time to flip some tables over.
Yeah, man. All right. More of this. We'll be back. Talk 99.5, The Line.